I can't wait till it gets here. It's my favorite time of the year. I love me some draft talk.
Good
Love
morning,
it.
everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinters. This is episode 274. What is up, fellas?
Oh, I am living the dream today.
Good
I'm
morning,
feeling
Derpy.
good.
How are you doing, man?
I am great. I am great. How are
Good.
we doing, fellas?
We're doing good, man. I got some pretty cool news. We talked briefly about wrestling yesterday. You got WrestleMania coming up this weekend. WrestleMania is now a 2-day event, something that we didn't have the luxury of having when we were kids. It was one day. You stayed up for the extra time on Sunday evening for, I think, 4 hours long it was. But this year, as they did over the past few years, it is now a couple days. They run it on Saturday, it goes on Sunday. It's a whole thing. There's a whole event on Saturday. You watch all this extra stuff. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Stacy Keibler, though, everybody, Stacy Keibler. I don't know if you remember Stacy Keibler. She is getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this weekend.
I love it.
Mike, do you remember what her name was when she came onto the scene in the WCW back in the day?
Oh God. I can't remember.
Miss Hancock.
That's right.
And she came out in like the suit, like the secretary look, the short skirt and the white button-up shirt. And her name was Miss Hancock. And she would bend over real slow as she's getting, going in between the ropes. And but anyway, I saw the last night they were doing a promotion. Apparently, Stacy Keibler, Lita, Trish Stratus, all the girls from the Attitude Era are back, and they're going to be taking on some of these chicks from nowadays. The one that I recognized was Bailey. However, there was a couple other girls on the screen.
I think it might be Bailey's whole little stable that she has.
I'm pretty sure it's probably what it is. I don't know who these people are. I think that they should go all in and do the best from then to the hottest from now. Like you should have Liv Morgan and what's the other one that I like with the blonde hair?
The other one with the blonde, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. You was going to make fun of me, but then you instantly knew who I was talking about.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, maybe another hot one, and have those girls go against Trish Stratus.
No,
Stacey.
The hot ones, not the talented ones. Let's just get
exactly. Nobody wants to see talented ones. I mean,
but they're all talented and they're all hot.
But Bailey, I mean, she's like when it's talented and ain't good looking, and I guess Lita would be
Bailey's good looking.
Oh God. Anyway.
She would be the one
that would have been not good looking from back then.
Lita was good looking.
Oh my God, Mike.
I was never a big Trish Stratus fan. I hate the fake look. She looks so fake.
That's the best part. Nobody actually looks like that. That's the best part.
No, she looks disgusting. She had talent. I just never thought like the fake boobs were not.
I would rather fake boobs than like kind of the man look. And I think Lita always had that man look. She always had like her face. She had the jaw and the everything about I don't know. Maybe like China's little sister.
Oh God, no.
You like China too?
No, God, no. I always hated China.
I'm Mae Young, Mike. Were you a big fan of Mae Young?
Oh, you know what? Her and I were supposed to, Mark Henry and her had the hand baby.
Well, the hand baby was awesome.
We were gonna have the opposite hand baby, but there were complications along the way.
Yeah. Try to make
complications being that Mae Young did not want me. That's what it was.
I would pay money to see you pull a hand out of your ass.
Mae Young was going to get me pregnant.
Yeah, I like it.
I hate you so much.
Well, another thing I know I did pick up, guys, Levi's, the company that makes jeans and things like this. Levi's to use AI models to increase diversity.
Instead of just hiring models, from different ethnic backgrounds.
That's what I thought. Aren't you taking jobs away from the different ethnic people?
Yeah,
and giving it to this AI to create diversity.
2023, everybody. There you
2023, here we are. Apparently, the AI is also offended, and they want the job, and we have to give it to them.
I love it. This is just the greatest thing ever.
It wasn't enough that the people were offended. Now the computers are offended. This is where I draw the line, people.
To me, this is the best thing ever. We could do like a 4-hour show just on how
China is going to activate, guys.
Yeah.
China's coming.
We got to have an AI to come on and talk with us too. And it would be hilarious if we did. It would be me, you, Derpy, and the AI. And then Derpy and the AI would team up on you.
Why does everyone always have to go after
I don't know,
me?
but I would enjoy it. I'd sit back and I would observe and probably have the best time of my life.
Fair enough.
But that is that. A couple of things before we do get started. Mike does have some big plans today. I'm not going to take too much of his time. I'm just going to kind of get the ball rolling, and then Mike is going to go into his special project.
Oh, and it's a very good special project.
It's a pretty good special project. That's what I wanted to say. We failed to mention it yesterday. I failed to mention it yesterday. This Mike, this and Derpy, this Final Four crew right here, this group of teams, is the first time in Final Four history where no team was seeded higher than 4. That's crazy if you think about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Best tournament ever.
I agree. And as I was making my picks, I made some comments along the way. I was like, well, I'm going to have to go with the ones because you never get to the Final Four without one of the ones being in there. And sure enough, that was broken. This is the first Final Four in history where no team that got to this point is better than a 4 seed. I like it. As Derpy said, this was one of my more enjoyable Final Fours or tournaments. I could certainly say that.
I'm loving it. I saw like a lot of backlash online. People like, oh, this is so stupid. Who wants to see Florida Atlantic? Who wants to see this team? Where's Alabama? Where's this team? Like, this is what you have a tournament for. This is what you have played.
That's why you have those bad teams. And usually those bad teams are the ones that get knocked out that never get a chance.
Yeah.
Now they get a chance, and we don't have to sit here and watch Duke or North Carolina or Kentucky for once. Jeez, enjoy it.
That's what everyone always talks about in any type of tournament situation, any type of playoffs. Is you just got to get in and have a chance because you never know what's going to happen. Now, the unexpected happening, and people want to boo-hoo it. I'm like, I don't get it. I understand. Yeah, you like from a business side, you might want to see those bigger teams in here, but now all the degenerate gamblers, all the people who like us who love these weird stories as well, are going to come in and want to watch. Okay, what's one of these underdogs who aren't supposed to be here? Who's going to win? Is this number 9 seed going to be the lowest rated team ever to win the championship? There's stories out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, guys. I like it. I dig it a lot. I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what? When the same team in sports win over and over and over and over again, we do complain about that.
Yeah.
Why the Yankees in the World Series again? Why is this team in again? Why blah, 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 blah. And you know what? It gets old and we get bored of it. So this finally, we do get a little bit of a change in sports and people complain. I don't understand it. I like it. I think it could be, and as you said, I mean, you're not getting the revenue from the big schools, but you know what? On another note, if none of these teams ever advance and get to a point that's significant, why even have them participate? Just take them out, put the better teams in, cut the field in half, and go from there. I think this is what makes sports good. And as Mike said, get in. There's a chance, and anything could happen from there. I like that. I like it.
It's what this whole time is about. Is this right here, the madness of March?
It's right. March is going out with like a lamb. No, like a lion.
In like a lion, or in like a lamb, out like a lion.
That's the way it was.
March is about being the best at the right time in prayers.
You come in and it's like a lion because it's like, or a lamb because okay, you got all your number 1 seeds, you got your Houston, you got your Alabama, you got these guys, but then it goes out like a lion because nobody picked any of these teams.
So what's the best?
I love it.
Could be the 2 Florida teams.
I want that. I want the Owls, baby. Hoot.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at the teams. I really don't even care. I really don't. I mean, San Diego State Aztecs.
I really kind of want San Diego State.
Like Florida
Land, it's just hard. I wish that was a championship.
That would be the best. I do though think on a serious note, I think UConn is the class of the bunch.
Yeah.
And UConn's interesting. That you recall they used to be the team that everyone hated because they were the team that was in every year.
Dominant.
They were always number 1. They were, and you just hated UConn. And so I'm having a hard time
UConn
throwing an appeal to them. But as I said, any of these 4 teams, I would be totally fine with. There's not going to be, I don't gamble, so there's going to be no way that this is going to upset me whatsoever. I'm going to be able to enjoy this like a normal person.
I'm gonna enjoy the madness.
We can't have you enjoy something like a normal person,
right? But as I stated earlier, Mike does have some. He has a plan. He has a little project that he was working on. As a matter of fact, it's a spin-off, a second part, if you will.
Part two.
Part two from last week. He came in with the project, and this week he's going to do the go to the opposite end of this project.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and hand the ball off to Mike and let him explain.
All right, as you can tell by the title, unbelievable. The Steelers' worst free agent signings ever. And we had like the top 10 last week of the best. This one, I could not rank them because they were all equally bad.
You know, Mike, when it was the best, it was somewhat of a challenge. And then you could maybe kind of guess who they were.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end, I'm going to have a difficult time. I really think that this is going to be all news to me. And then once I hear the name, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right. But I really have no guesses, just because if they're so bad, you don't think about them. You know what I mean?
There's some that you kind of remember. Then you're like, were they that bad? Then you go back and kind of look at what they did in Pittsburgh. You're like, oh, God, that was bad.
So this is Mike's time, everybody. Give your attention to Mike.
I have like 17, 18 players here. Okay. I don't know how long this is going to take. Probably not that long because they all kind of suck, but we're going to work through this here, boys. So, God, where to start on this illustrious list of cast of characters?
Now, are we starting with like the very worst, or are you kind of?
I couldn't rank them. I couldn't rank them at all. It was like one of the lists. Like I looked at multiple different lists, and like it was like a consensus of who like the worst ones were. But for me, any of them could have been number one. So let's start.
One moment, just real quick, Mike, a literal moment. I do have to pass this message on before we get started.
No, go ahead.
Madam, I request that you immediately send me pictures detailing your beautiful bosom in support of the national holiday known as Titty Tuesday.
Proceed.
No, you're good, man. That was actually, you should have led the show off. I'm very disappointed with you. But here we go. So like Derpy said, he asked if all these signings were Mike Tomlin signings.
Okay.
A lot of these were Kevin Colbert and there's Kevin Colbert and the previous GM. Who was it? Donahue under Cowher. There's a lot of overlap between these two, and it was just some bad signings. And I want to start off in the year 2000.
Okay.
We had that carousel of Cordell Stewart. Who was it? Cordell Stewart, Jim Miller, and then Kent Graham comes along. Kent Graham tops my list to start out with, just because, yes, because I don't know why we went away from Cordell Stewart. Everyone thought this guy might be an upgrade. He was not. He was one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen play in Pittsburgh, and we've seen some bad quarterback play, Ryan.
Yeah.
Kent Graham was.
That's a good one.
Talk about unforgettable, but you can't forget him. You cannot escape the legacy that was Kent Graham. I
remember this. I remember seeing this, and I thought, okay, Kent Graham. He's with the Giants, and they seem to have some things going on prior to this, but no, he was one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life when he came here.
He played what, 12 games for us, 11, 12 games, completed 44% of his passes.
How long was he here?
1 year. You know how many touchdowns he had?
How many?
1.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. He was 2-3. He started 5 games for us. He was 2-3, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Got that going for him.
It's funny how he even managed to get a second win. I mean, geez, oh man,
right?
1 touchdown.
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
What year was he?
2000.
Okay.
It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. This guy, terrible. Now that just starts you out. That's a nice little main course,
kind of,
or a little appetizer. Let's go with Donnell Wolford in the year 1997.
Oh wow, Wolford, yeah, jeez.
God, he came in for he was pressing the service when Rod Woodson went down.
Okay,
and he was the guy that was so bad we had to move Carnell Lake from safety to corner. So just like I have a feeling like if Woodson wasn't hurt, this guy would not have been that bad.
Yeah,
because he had a pretty productive career up until this point.
Did you say his last name is Wolford?
Donnell Wolford. He came over from the Bears. He
I
had
vaguely remember him.
Yeah, he had a pretty good career coming in to the team. Where do I have? Yeah, he has 36 career interceptions in 126 games. He played from 89 to 97. That's not bad. 36 picks in that amount of time, that 9-year career.
Yeah.
We thought, oh my God, this guy's going to be good. He ended up having 4 interceptions for us that year, but he got benched. He was like, you're done. He just didn't live up to the hype. So that's kind of why he makes the list. Unfortunately, guy had a pretty solid career that comes here last year in the NFL, seen as a flop. You hate to see it, but he was benched and you have to take your best safety and make him a corner. That's how you end up on this list.
All right.
Let's go. Someone who I thought would do pretty well with us, Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, Cedric Wilson, wide receiver, came from San Fran.
I believe it was San Francisco. Yeah, he either left San Francisco or came here from San Francisco. I can't quite remember. But
I remember Cedric.
Yeah, I thought he would have had a more productive career, but you look at his stats. He had 450 yards in 25 and 504 in 26, and then dropped off in the following year, 2007, for 207 yards. He was just a very disappointing year or career in Pittsburgh. 6 touchdowns total in his career, or 8 in his career. It was.
What were his years here, Mike?
05, 06, 07.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not a productive time in Pittsburgh. You thought he would have done more, but 2 touchdowns in his entire career here. So he makes the list. I thought he was going to be one of those guys that would come in and help us out. He did not. Following, let's go. Let's stick at the wide receiver position. Because we can draft him. Can we sign him as a free agent? No, we're going with Dante Moncrief.
Ooh. Stone hands.
Yes, that's why. Stone.
Boy, the hands on that guy, huh?
Oh my God. Like he had some productive years in Indy. I'm looking at 6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns. Okay, the yards weren't there, but touchdowns. Then he comes here. I'm seeing goose eggs, boys. Goose eggs. He didn't even make the whole year.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, they cut him after 5 games, I think it was. He appeared in 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. He started 2. Look at this stat: 15 targets, 4 catches, 18 yards.
You sure that's not the worst?
He might actually be the worst, but in overall hype and production, there's someone here who was actually the worse than this guy. But
worse than Dante Moncrief?
Yeah.
Dante Moncrief. Wow.
You think, Dante, he'd come in and be a nice 4th receiver. He couldn't even do that.
Yeah. He was rough.
He was bad.
Did you say he came from the Saints, or he went to the Saints?
He went to New England after it. He came from
Colts.
The Colts.
Yeah, he played with the Colts, Jacks, and then Carolina, and then us, and then New England in 2020. And that was the end of his career.
That Belichick loved him.
Oh, yeah. He's like, what the hell's going on here? Get this guy out of here. Can't catch cold.
Yeah, he was bad.
Quincy Morgan.
Another one.
You know what? Quincy Morgan. What was his numbers?
So in Pittsburgh, 9 catches. 9. Count them. 9.
Where'd he come from?
Cleveland, and then Dallas, and then here.
Yeah, I remember him in Cleveland. As a matter of fact,
he wasn't that bad in Cleveland.
If I'm remembering right, he was on the team that we beat, the playoff team, when we beat Cleveland 3 times in the early 2000s.
It was 2002.
Yes, exactly.
That was his best year. He had 964 yards, 7 touchdowns. Looking like a player.
He was one of their guys. Michael Jackson was another one of their receivers. Quincy. And then I can't think of the other guy, but they had a nice little team. I mean, it wasn't winning those Super Bowls.
No.
but that was they were good enough to make it to the playoffs. We had to beat them 3 times that year.
Yeah, I thought he would have been a guy. Like, all right, he's going to be, a contributor.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything. He ended up, 2 touchdowns for us. If he's like if he's like your 5th receiver, that's great. But he come in, I thought we were going to get a lot more out of Quincy Morgan.
Yeah, I remember liking him. Like I said, I remember he was productive in Cleveland. I thought, okay, at least we got somebody that's doing something. And then he came here and it was not the same.
He was nothing. All right, let's go to the
easiest ring ever. Easiest ring ever.
Yeah,
hey, they don't ask how, just how many.
Rings
a ring. Jonathan Scott. See if you remember this guy, left tackle.
Yeah,
he was a turnstile.
Mm-hmm.
He was bad. Because he came into, I think, filling for Max Starks.
Okay.
When he was injured, I believe, and this guy was terrible. He was a bad pro. He's a turnstile. And less spoken about him the best. Sticking with the offensive line, center. Sean Mahan.
Sean Mahan.
We signed him to a 5-year, $17 million contract.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, he come off that Super Bowl winning team down in Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Tomlin brought him along with when he came in, thinking, all right, hey, this guy, he helped us. He was a key contributor in the Super Bowl. But like you always say, AFC North football is a different breed of football.
Absolutely.
And he couldn't deal with the big nose guards that we had and the big tackles that Baltimore had.
See, some of these guys, they're just they're so bad, they're forgettable. I mean, Jesus, some of these names I know I was going back to the rest of my life.
I think I purposely forgot about a lot of these guys.
Right.
And here we're poo-pooing on them, and they're like the top 1% of all players.
Right. These guys should be in the XFL.
Yeah. But no, it's just Sean Mahan, man. You go from Dirk Dawson to Sean Mahan, you're going to lose something.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look.
Another
a player who I thought would have been really good on the defensive side, Cam Thomas.
Refresh my mind.
He was a D end. He also played for the Saints, and I forget who else. I'm taking a look at it now. Cam Thomas, Chargers, Chiefs, Rams, Steelers.
I am having a hard time remembering this cat.
Yeah, he was a D tackle. He was good. I thought, he'd be a pretty good depth player. He just did not pan out. He had half a sack in his 2 years in Pittsburgh for 29.
It's like you have half a sack.
I told you that in confidence.
It's only just me and Derpy. No one will ever know.
Yeah, but before he came over from San Diego, he was a rotational backup player. 6 sacks in 4 years there as a backup, and here he came in with more playing time, and he just couldn't do a thing. He started 10 games and half a sack and 29 tackles in 2 years. Bum.
Hey, this guy I'm drawing. What was his jersey number? I can't even.
90, I think.
Sometimes that.
I think it was 90. I think he wore number 90.
All right, who's next?
Another one.
This one made I got a pop out of Derpy. He popped big time for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Off air, he thought it was great. Morgan Burnett. Defensive back. Came over from Green Bay. He was supposed to be the do-it-all safety, and came over in 2018, and
he did absolutely nothing.
Usurped by our safety who just left, Terrell Edmonds, as a rookie. Terrell Edmonds took his spot. This guy was supposed to be the starter. Terrell Edmonds was supposed to sit out and more or less redshirt that year and learn from him.
Yeah.
This guy was that bad that Terrell Edmonds took his starting job. And Terrell Edmonds was considered a bust his first 2 years in the league. So that tells you all you need to know about this guy.
Yeah.
He dpretty have a bad career coming into Pittsburgh. Coming out of Green Bay, he played there 8 years and 9 picks. Pretty good player, almost 700 tackles in Green Bay. And then he just come here and couldn't do a thing. Here. It couldn't do anything when he went to Cleveland, too. He played 8 games in Cleveland the following year after Pittsburgh, and his career was done. But hey, my man got a Super Bowl champion. You know, he won one in Green Bay.
That way, you know, when as time goes by,
No wonder why that year was a fluke.
as time goes by, he'll be able to like lie and start changing the story of history, like, you know, a lot of people do. And like, you know, when people forget about it and get up to the more advanced or, you know, the more up to date teams and playoffs, he could always turn around and just make up amazing things about his Super Bowl season, you know, tell his grandkids. And
well, he played in Green Bay,
like when I won the Super Bowl in Dallas in the 90s.
Yeah, well, like when did Green Bay win the Super Bowl?
10 season 11 February.
Yeah, he had 3 picks that year in the regular season, 106 tackles. So yeah, he was a contributor. You know, but hey, you can embellish that even more, like you said.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Where are we going to go next?
So a lot of people don't know about my career in Dallas and my 43 interceptions.
Another one.
Let's just. I don't even remember this guy. I want to see if you remember this guy. Travis Davis.
Came
over from the safety. Came over from Jacksonville Jaguars.
White guy.
I don't have a picture of him.
Okay.
But I don't think he is. But yeah,
I definitely don't know. I'm 0 for 2, so chances are I don't know who the hell this person is.
Let's see.
I thought he was a white linebacker.
He played 16 games for the Steelers, had 60 tackles.
Okay.
One interception. You know, and that was the end of his career. He's 4 years in Jacksonville, 1 year in Pittsburgh. He was done. This guy did here for a cup of coffee and gone. He wore number 27. Yeah.
What's his name? Travis
Davis. Travis Davis.
Man got the bag and dipped.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. My man knows what's up.
Like, who's the quarterback for Indianapolis?
Matt Ryan, the one that they just cut.
No, the one that retired early. Luck.
Oh, the one with the broken neck. Yeah, Luck.
Man, there's just some guys that you just think to yourself, what a career they would have had if they would have had a career. You know,
yeah,
what I mean?
like him and like if RG3
didn't
get his knee
from
destroyed.
injuries.
Yeah,
both of those guys, I feel bad for them. Both of them, it sucked.
Travis Davis. All right, who else we got?
Leonard Pope.
Another one.
Leonard Pope. He
Pope?
played.
Who the hell are these guys?
He's a tight end.
Holy
He's a tight
shit.
end. Okay, listen to this. You know, and he came from Arizona and then Kansas City. He had his first 3 years he played in Arizona. He had 5 touchdowns. Next 3 year stint in Kansas City, he had 4 touchdowns. He played 1 year in Pittsburgh. He had 2 touchdowns. So technically, if he would have stayed 2 more years in Pittsburgh, he would have had 6 touchdowns. He would have outproduced both stints. But my man only started 2 games. He caught 3 passes, and 2 of them were for touchdowns.
And
So,
this guy's name is what?
Leonard Pope. Leonard Pope, he wore 45 for the Steelers. He played in 2012.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Yeah. It's like he came in he caught 3 passes, 2 of them were touchdowns.
All right.
I think I remember him.
Yeah, it was just a blast. I'm going through these lists and like, oh my, I remember these names. The only one I didn't remember was that one safety, and I already forgot about his name already.
Yeah, no, I'm struggling.
Okay, we have 2 more tight ends.
Another one.
We're gonna stay right there. Jay Reesma. Remersa came over from the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
This cat, I thought he would have been good. Like, I remember when we signed him, I'm like, oh god, this guy's gonna be good. He had 20 touchdowns in his first 6 years in Buffalo. He was a productive player. You know, this at a time when Steelers really weren't using our tight ends, but I'm thinking this guy he would fit in good. You know, he's like 400 to 500 yards per year, a couple touchdowns a year, average about 4 touchdowns a year. Like, all right, he'd fit in good with our offense. In 2003, he had 10 receptions for 138 yards and a touchdown. He follows that up the following year, 7 catches, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, his worst year in Buffalo was his rookie year, where he had 26 catches, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Like, yeah, we got the bad years of his career. The good years,
I
we
wonder
missed
why
out
that
on.
happened. You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, he came in with like moderate success, and this guy would fill in for, I think Keith Miller might have been hurt or something. I think this guy, all right, we got him. No, this guy sucked. This guy sucked. I was disappointed because I thought he would be a playmaker.
Okay.
No, I'm down to my last two worst signings. My last two worst.
Okay.
Let's just go right there. LeGarrette Blount.
I loved Blunt. I
did too. But we know why he's on the list.
Yeah, and it's terrible.
It's terrible. Because I did like him here. He played well here,
He played damn well here. It was ridiculous. It was fell along that time that the Steelers really felt like they need to make a point.
Yep.
As was whenever they got, when they got rid of Santonio Holmes as well. I mean, these are two guys that I thought could have really, really been great Steelers over the times.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. I like Blunt a lot.
I did too. But him and Lev Bell, they were a nice 1-2 punch in that backfield.
Yeah.
But he got, he was the one, him and Bell, and they weren't gonna do anything to Lev Bell. And he's the one who got the team discipline. He's the one who angrily stormed out of the team on that win in Tennessee. And then next thing you know, they cut him. And then boom, next thing you know, magically he ends up back in New England, goes on and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's like,
he was an exceptional football player. I can't.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame him. But I'm going to put him on here just for the fans.
Yeah.
Steeler fans. To, because I get why people don't like Eric Blount, but if I was in his situation, I probably would have done the same thing. Like, you're going to punish me, not this guy. You're going to treat me this way. Guess what? I'm out. I'm going to do what I can. This is how you're going to treat me. Get rid of me. I'm going to go where I'm wanted. We're going to be treated, better. And I don't blame him. And he went back and he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was the perfect storm for him. I don't blame him. I probably would have done the same thing in his situation, but it affected my team, so he's on this list.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it kind of worked out in his favor. He went back to a team that was right in the middle of a dynasty, and so he probably.
And there's like that whole conspiracy theory, like him and Belichick playing this whole thing.
Yeah,
like they plan to get Lev Bell high, and all this fun stuff. All right, so I have my last.
Last one. Here we go. The finale.
My last one. This is someone who I had high hopes on.
Well, we need a drum roll.
I don't got a drum roll. I don't got a drum roll.
I don't have my drum roll set up right now. I could let me try to find something here.
But
how about this?
Drum roll. There we go. See, now you're just killing the excitement. I'm going with it right now. Tight end, Ladarius Green. Tight end, Ladarius Green. This guy,
I remember that.
Like, talented player. You saw it out in San Diego. Like, this guy's going to have an opportunity to be a full-time starter in Pittsburgh. He's going to blossom into this great tight end. My man could not stay healthy. And it sucks that he's on the list because of that, but it's that big contract we signed him to. And they knew he was injured going into it, but Tomlin and Colbert wanted this guy. They risked it. They rolled the dice. And hey, if he was able to stay healthy, he probably would have turned out to be a damn good tight end, but it didn't work out. So he makes the list. That's the worst Steeler tight end. He, started 2 games, got 18 passes, 18 catches, 304 yards, and a touchdown. You saw the potential. Dude had talent, but what was it? Ankle injuries, I think, kept him out. Ankle or knee injury. And if that thing is lame and bad and you can't get it healed right, you're done in the NFL. You're done in all pro sports. So it sucks that he's on this list because of injuries, not just because of poor play. But yes, Ladarius Green, to me, is the worst free agent signing in Pittsburgh.
I don't remember if this guy was a free agent or we got him in a trade, but there was a guy
free agent.
The guy, no, hold on.
I see.
You forgot the honorable mentions, Mike.
Well, this gentleman here, I don't remember if he was a free agent or a trade, but I think he came right after Bettis retired, and we just was not satisfied. We needed a big running back, and we went after from Green Bay, Najee Davenport. Do you guys remember
Oh
Najee
my
Davenport?
God.
I love it. Najee,
He ran slightly
I
faster than a
remember
slug.
that.
They stuck him on the kick return team, and it was like the slowest guy ever returning kicks. And he had size, and that's what it was. But we just had to have that big guy, and Najee was the guy. He didn't last long. Was he a free or was he a
I think he was a free agent.
We need some honorable mentions, Mike.
Hold on.
We're
Hold on. We're talking about Najee Davenport here. Give me a minute, Derpy.
You could put him on there as an honorable mention.
No, well, let's see. His first year wasn't that great. He had 60 rushes, 221 yards, 1 touchdown. That second year, though, 107 rushes, 499 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per average. So he did pretty well right there. But I know what you mean. He was back on the kickoff returns. It was some of the funniest things ever. But like his
he didn't
average
have kickoff return speed like at all.
But
at
like
all.
his kickoff return in 2006, he averaged 21 yards per return, and then the next year it dropped down to 17. When he left, though, it went back up. It's funny. Yeah, he had a good year here.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean. He there was more promise there. I thought that he would be better than what he was. But yeah, we'll put Najee on the honorable mention, but he was a Super Bowl champion. I think he won that one with did he win the Super Bowl with us?
I don't think so.
Can we put Kevin Colbert on the honorable mention?
Well, Kevin Colbert is the greatest GM in NFL history. Yinzer fans will not accept anything less.
You're right.
I wish
What
I was
about Eric
lying.
Ebron, though?
Eric Ebron was kind of productive. Wasn't
Fair.
the greatest, but I understand what you're saying.
He came up short with me. I was expecting more from him, and there was so many times that there was drop balls with him that I thought, oh, come on, because he was such an athlete. And if you would have just caught this ball that bounced off your hand, you could have made another 20, 30 yards just because of where you were. Defense was kind of put you in mind of DJ a little bit. Just kind of, he still leaves you thirsty when you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
what about Vic?
Hold on. Like
I know I liked Vic.
Ebron, his first year with us, 56 catches, 558 yards, 5 touchdowns. That second year, he only played 8 games, started 3. The injuries got him, but then Freiermuth took over, right? Yeah, Freiermuth took over 2021, 2022. Yeah, so he kind of lost the spot to Muth and to injuries, but he was productive for a year there, so I won't give him there. Vic was a good backup.
I like Michael Vick. I thought that he was a good backup. I thought that he brought a little bit enough different to the table, because a lot of times you bring a backup and he's generally not as good as your starter, and there's not much of a adjustment that you have to make. I mean, you just know he's a quarterback running the same offense that's not as good as the starter. Somebody like Michael Vick comes in, he's left-handed, the guy can run, so there's more to the game than just making that adjustment and preparing for a different quarterback. If he's in there, I like the Michael Vick, and like I said, I mean,
he 2-1 as a starter in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
fair.
You can't ask for much more out of your backup. He won the 2 games he needed to play,
especially at the time it was.
Yeah, he wasn't who he was. Wasn't the worst pickup. He did what he needed to do.
Not everybody is today's segment of what's it called, Mike? The worst free agents.
The worst free agents in Steelers history. Worst free agent signings in Steelers history.
Michael, don't leave me here. Michael.
But thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. It was an amazing segment.
Woo!
I learned a lot of things today. I learned that I forgot
all those players.
But let's get right into this. We got some football news. We got some football scoop. The Bengals, they signed Sidney Jones from Las Vegas. This is the latest that I seen this morning on any kind of trades. Free agency signings. Who is this Sidney Jones? Anybody? Sidney Jones? He looked like a DB from the picture, but you know what? I know nothing about Sidney Jones from Las Vegas.
He is a DB. I don't know a whole lot about him. You give me like 2 seconds here. I'm firing up the internet.
Fire it up, Mike.
Firing up the internet. Going to the old standby of PFFF just to get a quasi idea of how he is. Like, give me all of his stats and everything. Oh, wow. 10 tackles, 0 picks. He was targeted 12 times and allowed 7 receptions. So
I like the Bengals pickup here.
yeah, I like that Bengals pickup too. Quarterbacks, his quarterback rating of passer rating allowed is an 83.8. So quarterbacks kind of like to target him.
Okay.
But that
I
was
like
just last year. Let me see in his career stats. Let me see what this guy has done. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I'm not seeing a whole lot of interceptions. I hate the way they do the stats on here.
Maybe he's a depth guy.
That's what it's looking like. He's looking to be a depth guy. And you need these type of players. And he looks really good against the run and tackling. And in today's game, sometimes you need that guy that can step up out of the secondary tackle. He's not a big thumper, but God, I hate that I can't find his interception stats and everything.
That's all right.
I kind of want to know.
It's Sunday. On Sunday at the
he has 4 career interceptions.
The Sunday meeting this week, Mike Tomlin confirmed, guys, that Mitch Trubisky will return as the team's backup quarterback for the 2023 season. So there we have it. Mitch Trubisky will be back. He will be the backup. I knew one of the two would be here, would still be here out of him and Mason. It's going to be interesting what happens with Mason from here on out. I don't know. However,
we're free and clear of Mason, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Khan also comes along and says, he says free agency is not over, guys. He says there's ongoing conversations with several players right now. So you know what? With these guys running the show, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen between now and draft?
Yeah, I'm meet the pre-back and maybe receiver because we just lost.
Yeah, I mean, I think the freeze definitely.
You need that veteran receiver.
Yes, I don't like Boykin. I don't like Boykin.
From which war do we need a veteran receiver from? Great War, World War II, Korea, Vietnam.
To be honest with you, I'm not a big Boykin guy either. I didn't find him too impressive when he was in Baltimore. I thought, oh, this guy, where's he out of Notre Dame?
He's out of Notre Dame.
No wonder.
Him and Chase Claypool. They shared
Notre Dame on offense is only known for maybe running back.
Him and Claypool shared the same
the offensive line
golden shower together.
I hate you so much for that one. That's a good one, but I hate you.
So there we have.
He had 10 tackles on special teams last year, and that is nothing to actually laugh at. He's good special team. Yeah, you need this. You need the guys like this. Special teamer, man, a gunner. This is what you need,
Cam Hayward says Antonio Brown was the most talented teammate he has ever had.
I actually agree with Cam Hayward for once.
This is, I
agree to a degree.
I do to a degree. I mean, it's always a judgment call. I mean, it's hard to say because we're not in those locker rooms. We're not on the field with these guys. But you know what? It seems like a pretty valid argument. The guy did nothing but amazing, put up amazing numbers and production when he was here. But I thought that you would find that interesting, Mike, because again, that was your boy Cam.
But no, I actually to touch on this subject, I actually do believe that Antonio Brown may have been the best athlete that I have seen play for the Steelers, and that's going back from like the Rod Woodson days to now. I'd have to put him up there. The things he did, man, his body control,
and still didn't win a ring.
That doesn't matter. I'm talking about athleticism and how talented he was. Okay. He won a ring. He won a ring in Tampa Bay. But no, he is the most athletically gifted players I've seen in Pittsburgh. If he might, like I said, I think he is the best. That body control, his route running. I don't know if I mentioned this before, probably have, but ESPN used to have the sports science, and Antonio Brown ran a bunch of routes. Then he ran them blindfolded, and they tracked his precision. He ran the routes better blindfolded than he ran them with his eyes. This dude was a freak athlete. He's just a mess mentally, and it's he killed his own career, and he gets what he deserves.
I'm gonna break your eggs here for a second.
Player I've ever seen.
I went to they do these Steeler basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
One was up in Springdale High School, and we went up there, and Antonio Brown and David DeCastro and Derek Moy was on this team.
Sure.
I remember that.
Charlie Batch, and
I remember when they used to do those basketball games. Those
and I tell you what, as athletic and as talented as Antonio Brown was, it sure did not carry over onto the basketball floor. He has this weird left-handed awkward shot. He's a lefty. I don't know if many people know that.
I didn't know he was a lefty.
He's a lefty, and he insists on shooting from behind the 3 line where he's not very good at all. And I mean, like, air ball after air ball after air ball. And at a point you thought, man, this guy, he cannot be this bad. He's just got to be. But then you see he's trying throughout the, he's trying to hit certain shots, and it just one was as bad as the next. And I just like anything else, you have to get out there and practice a little bit before you could do something very well. But like I said, when you're talking about one's athleticism and things like that, that pops into my mind.
Yeah.
And but
it didn't translate to other sports. It was
not at all.
My man was a football athlete.
Derek Moy was very, 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 very good at basketball. DeCastro with his size was great. Charlie Batch from the 3. But geez, oh man, Antonio Brown, it was almost kind of embarrassing. There was a Ross Vitrone.
Ross Vitrone. I remember Ross Vitrone.
Special team expert Ross. There was
somebody else.
Apparently,
that like a Ross Vitrone, we don't need anymore. We don't need special teamers, according to you two.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm messing with you guys.
It's all right. I don't pay attention.
Fair enough. I don't pay attention to myself either. I know me.
They had 6 guys. They always come with like 6 guys. They'd have the 5, and then they always have the one. I can't think off the top of my head who the 6th guy, but they were all good. Yeah. And like I said, it was comical. Antonio Brown's skills on the hardwood compared to the gridiron.
It's still the best route runner I've ever seen in my life.
The Pittsburgh Maulers, their first game is April 16th, Mike. So here we're 16th? April 1st on Saturday. So 2 weeks from there, we're only about 2.5 weeks out from the USFL season. I'm sorry, the Pittsburgh Maulers. And then after that, they come home for the second game of the season for their home opener against New Jersey. And I think we're gonna go. We're gonna kidnap Derpy. We're gonna tape him up, tape his mouth closed. We'll put him in the trunk, and we're gonna take him up.
He said it, not me.
I didn't mean anything by it. That's what you do when you kidnap people. You tape their mouth closed, and But I think we got to get up to some Maulers games this year, Mike, just because. We'll talk more about that later. But
I think we should become the official Pittsburgh Maulers podcast.
I think we should too.
I think so. We already covered. We covered the Steelers extensively. We covered the Penguins. You know what? The Pirates are the Pirates. I don't want to cover the Pirates. I'll cover the Pittsburgh Maulers all day long.
Yeah. So a little over 2 weeks. We got the Mauler season starting. Got the XFL season well underway. I mean, here we are. There was a Monday night football game last night. I don't know if any of you guys caught this, but it was the best 2 teams in the league. The Houston Roughnecks, they came in at 4-1. The DC Defenders, they came in at 5-0. It was a good game. DC pulls it off. They win 37-26. That bumps DC up to 6-0. It drops Houston to 4-2. Mike, they had the beer snake. The announcers talked about it. It was looking good. They had to go the whole way up the top. I love what they got going on down there.
I love it, man. Beer snake. I'm all about the beer snake, and I think that's why I am a DC Defenders fan.
Yeah,
it's the only reason why. I love it, and they're the best team in DC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the Capitals aren't doing anything, the Commanders aren't doing anything. You might as well find a winner somewhere, boys.
They've continued. They picked back up on Friday. The XFL I'm talking about. Won the Seattle Sea Dragons. They go to Arlington, play the Renegades. That'll be 7:00 on Friday, and then they have 2 games on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. But this, Mike, will be week 7 that they're going into. Week 7. They have 10 games, of course, in the XFL season. Then 1 week for playoffs, and then a championship. So before you.
Ryan froze.
No, this XFL season will be done. USFL. And once the USFL comes and goes, Mike, and then you know what that means. It means we're midsummer. We're heading into the NFL. We got training. We got camp. We got the guys going to everything like that. So this football season, it never ends, Mike. I love it. I love the way how these things are playing out. I support the XFL and the USFL entirely.
Me too, because, one once baseball season comes around, even if the Pirates are good, I can only watch a handful of games a year.
Right.
Even
Why-
with the new pitch clock, I know I can't watch it
I
that
like
much.
that pitch clock.
I love it. And I love how people are like complaining about it, like all the old heads.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
because they fall asleep between pitches, and it's like a thing for them.
Yeah, and
Like older
they're all
people.
old, and baseball can't change. I bet but I know why they don't want it to change. I ain't gonna say it, but you all know what I'm thinking.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'm in a mood. I'm feisty. I'm feisty, and we talk about the Pirates and baseball, and I get angry.
I mean,
so.
I was looking at the beginning of their lineup yesterday. I mean, with O'Neal Cruz, Brian Hayes,
Brian Hayes,
Brian Reynolds, Andrew McCutchen, Jack Sawinski,
there's
and
potential.
Carlos
there.
Santana. Your first 6 hitters are all. I mean, these are good baseball players. It isn't like this is the worst team ever.
Yeah.
7, 8, and 9. I'm not real sure because now that they have McCutchen in a DH yesterday, I noticed. They're probably going to do that a lot with his, him being at the age he's at.
Yeah.
But if I don't know these other guys, 7, 8, 9. If you get a couple, one of these guys to step up and have a good season, it's not the worst team ever. I think that could be something that's encouraging for sports fans here in Pittsburgh because obviously losing 100 games is something that we got a little too comfortable with.
Oh yeah, and it's like and like the Pirate fans, they don't care about win losses. They just want to find one player that's good and say, look, they're doing something right. This guy's good. Like last year, they were losing all these games, but look at O'Neal Cruz. Like, yeah,
which was a lot of fun though. You got to admit,
it's a lot of fun, but you're losing. You play, to quote Herm Edwards, you play to win the game.
What do you do when you're a Pirates fan when you know they're not going to win though? You have to find something
to win the game.
I mean, the fans can only do what they can do. I mean,
the fans could not show up, and the fans can buy over at the 2dumbusers.com. Click on our link to the merchandise store and buy the Bob Nothing t-shirt. That is 2dumbusers.com merchandise. Click on the merchandise store. Follow it over to Spreadshop and buy the Bob Nothing t-shirt. That's what the fans can do.
The Pirates, they played the Twins yesterday. They lost 8-4. They are back at it today. They're playing against the Twins one more time. This is going to be 1:05 this afternoon. About an hour from now, they'll be playing. Mike, the opening day is only 2 days from now. They play the Twins today. Today is actually the last preseason game for the Pirates. They played the last spring season preseason game against the Twins, 1:05. Then tomorrow they're off, and then they head off to Cincinnati, where they start off over there with a 3-game series with Cincy. Come home. Then they go to Boston.
Yeah.
And then they play up there for a while. So, I mean, it's going to be a while before they come home, another week or so. But, Mike, the baseball season is here. The home opener is against I don't know who they play on. Who's their home opener against?
I didn't even have it.
I know the opener is against the Reds.
Yeah, they play the Reds, and like you said, they
4:10.
go
It's 4:10 on Thursday.
Let me pull it up here. Bucko schedule. Whoa. Oh, my God. Can I get a full regular season schedule here? And oh my God, spring training first half. All right, we have April 7th against the Chicago White Sox. Wow. Love interleague play.
They're doing it early. Like I said, we got the Red Sox on the road
early.
before we come home, and then we come home against the White Sox. I like the American League. I like it early.
Yeah, catch them while they're asleep, so we can get some wins.
Yes, exactly.
You know.
So there that is. We got the opening day is on Thursday. That's at 4:10 on Thursday in Cincinnati. You could check that out. One other thing about the Pirates, real quick, they will be. I don't know if you've seen these 2023 City Connect jerseys in Major League Baseball. Every team is having their own customized City Connect, something that connects with their city. And a lot of these jerseys are really nice. You go around, look at them. Pittsburgh Pirates, they've had it. I see. There's this red one that I keep seeing everywhere, but I don't know if it's the official one or it's the one that they did in the past, because I saw an article that said that they're still going to be coming out with it in June 23, but then they're showing pictures now of them with this red jersey on it. Do you see that anywhere, Mike? These 2023 City Connect jerseys?
I'm seeing one. I'm looking at one right now, and
is it red?
No, this one, it looked oh my God. And the picture keeps going away. Let's see here. No, It was like a black one.
Okay.
So it was like black with like a plain black with a straight gold down it. It didn't look anything
But
fancy.
some of these jerseys are dope. If you look around the league, you could see, just some of the connect, like the teams out west, the teams, in the Midwest. There's just different things about them that connect them to that region. I think they're pretty badass. It's one thing about this Pirates.
Ooh, I'm looking at this one right now. It's on Pinterest. I don't know if it's like the actual design, but it's like a solid gold jersey, black trim along the sleeves, and it looks like one of the bridges. I don't know the name of the bridge.
Okay.
I don't know if it's at the Fort Pitt or the Roberto Clemente Bridge in profile.
But it's on there?
It says, yeah. I just looked it up. It was someone's design. It's on Pinterest.
They're really badass, Derpy.
I don't know if that's the real one or just someone's design concept. If that was like the real one, that would be sweet. But I think it might just be someone's design.
If you would go and look at all the different ones, they like I said, there are a lot of neat concepts. They're all, targeted toward the cities that these teams come from. I thought they were pretty cool, but we do have to move on, guys, real quick before Pitt athletic director Heather Like, we said last week she was up for athletic director of the year. She won, Mike. The athletic director Heather Like from Pitt won the athletic director of the year yesterday. So good for her. She's doing a lot of great things up there, you got to admit. Heather Like, everybody. Finally, before we finish and wrap up and move into trivia, Mike, we have a big game tonight. The Penguins at Detroit, 7:00.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Give me a quick summary, Mike, of what this game means, what we have to do, and what's going to happen.
They need to win. They need to play smart Penguin hockey. Now, I'm talking about defensemen. Don't pinch in when you have a lead. Play scoring situation. Don't take dumb penalties like this team is wont to do against teams like Detroit. They take stupid offensive zone penalties. This is the team you need to close out early. This is an easy 2 points. Sitting right here, you need these points. It's looking like the Smith is going to be playing again in net.
Okay.
So, he's the hot hand right now.
Yeah.
And Jari keeps getting hurt. This is a new injury. So just play smart hockey. Play smart hockey. And someone other than Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Gensel, Zucker, do something. Do something.
Your prediction.
Penguins win 3-2.
You know what's wild? That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Penguins 3-2. What about you, Derpy? You want to take a quick prediction for this Penguins Detroit game tonight? It's at Detroit.
Easy dubs. It's the Red Wings. Same score.
All right, there you go. For some reason, that 3-2 stuck out in my mind. I'm going to stick with it. But it is the 2-minute warning, everybody. Why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, Mike?
twodumyinzers.com. So the number 2, DUMYINZRS.com. Head on over there. We have links to YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. And click on any of those. Boom, you can find the podcast or a link to the podcast. We have merchandise store on there as well. Click on the merchandise store tab. It sends you over to Spreadshop, where our merchandise is hosted, where you can find, like I said, the Bob Nothing t-shirt for honor of Bob Nothing, the worst owner in baseball. But yeah, twodumyinzers.com.
There you go. Everybody go check it out. A lot of cool things over there. We are live every day from Monday through Friday at 11:00 a.m. to 12:00 p.m. And the show that we do gets uploaded that same day at 8:00 over on Spotify. So if you just have the opportunity or chance to listen to us, or you can't stand looking at Mike's face, you could always just go listen to it over on Spotify. That gets uploaded the day of the show at 8:00 p.m. Go check that out. All right, guys, we do have a spring training opening day trivia today. It's more opening day. I kind of got carried away with the spring training, but the trivia question of the day, guys, is a opening day Pirates trivia. How confident are you in this category, Mike?
None whatsoever.
How about you, Derp? Just the way I like it. Here we go. Question of the day. What year was the last year the Bucks won on an opening day? And I'm looking for a calendar year for example, 1985. So, with that being said, what year was the last year the Bucks won an opening day? I'm going to start with Mike today. Today, this is 2023. Opening day 2023 is on Thursday. I'm looking for the year that was the last year the Pirates won on opening day. Would you like the team?
2013.
2013. That's your final answer? Hold off on that. And I'll give you guys a hint. It was against the Twins. The Twins, some more interleague play. Come over to Derpy. Mike says 2013 was the last time the Pittsburgh Pirates won on opening day. What do you think, my man?
What year was Jason Bay? I forget. Like in his prime.
He was prior to 2013. I know that. He was before the successful team.
I'll go 2009.
2009 and 2013, Mike says. What year was the last year the Pirates won on opening day? I said this game was against the Twins. Mike says 2013. Derpy says 2009. I'll go ahead and lock you guys in. We'll get rolling. All right, here we go. One last time, guys. What year was the last year the Pittsburgh Pirates won on opening day? 2013 says Mike. 2009 says Derpy. I'm sorry, both are incorrect. The last time that the Pirates won on opening day was 5 years ago, 2018. 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
2018, they beat the Twins. So I was surprised too. I would have thought it would have been longer, but there you have it. Mike, you have anything before we take off, man?
Let's go Pens, baby. Win this one. Shore up the wild card, boys.
Yes, there were a couple points ahead. We got to keep that or build on to that. Penguins got a huge game against the winnable team tonight, Detroit. Let's win this game. Keep this thing going. Derpy, what say you?
Go Pens, and baseball's almost back.
All right, there you have it, guys. Things we love to hear. Enjoy. You got the Penguins tonight, everybody. And we got Pirates in a couple days. They're finishing up today with their spring training. They're off tomorrow. Then they open up on Thursday in Cincinnati. Hey, we appreciate it, everybody, for stopping by, checking us out. We hope that you continue to do so. We appreciate each and every one of you. And hey, enjoy your